Kamala Harris was pressed this weekend about her position on abortion, specifically when the cutoff should be, right? When does a baby go from being a meaningless clump of cells to being a person with rights? That was the question, and here is her answer, or her non-answer, as the case may be.
What is it that you believe? I mean, what week of pregnancy should abortion access be cut off?
We need to restore the protections of Roe versus Wade. We're not trying to do something new.
Well, that was nebulous because it was about viability, which could be anywhere between 20 to 24 weeks. And
so no. Let me be very clear.
The Women's Health Protection Act that the White House also endorsed.
Let me be very clear. From day one, the president has been clear. I have been clear. We need to put back the protections that are in Roe v. Wade into law. Since the Supreme Court took it, Congress has the power and ability to pass legislation to put those protections back in law, and Joe Biden will sign that bill. So that is what we want.
But does it need to be specific in terms of defining and where that guarantee goes up to and where it does not? At which week of pregnancy?
We need to put back in place the protections of Roe versus Wade.
You know why I'm asking you this question, though, because
we're not trying to do anything that did not exist before June of last year.
It wasn't crafted into law, and that's why I'm asking you for the specifics there, because Republicans say the lack of a precise date in cutting it off. You know this. They say that allows Democrats to perform abortions up until, birth.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is statistically not accurate.
And it's ridiculous. And it's a mischaracterization of the point. No, the point is...
But do you need to be more precise?
I am being precise. We need to put into law the protections of Roe versus Wade.
I am being precise. I'm precisely avoiding answering anything remotely resembling that question. She says, that's ridiculous. That's my favorite part of that exchange there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that anyone wants abortion up until birth, she says. And yet she also won't say that she doesn't want abortion up until birth. So this is always the way these people play the game. When you say, oh, well, you're okay with abortion up until birth. Well, that's absurd. Okay, so you don't want abortion up until birth? Well, that's besides the point. No, that's the whole point. And if we can all agree, like if you didn't know any better and you watched that clip, you would think, well, I guess we all agree that apparently that abortion, aborting children up until birth is insane. You've got fully developed infants who can survive outside the womb. Obviously, this is a person. Like we can all agree on that. And if we can all agree on that, and you would think we can based on the way she responded, that's ridiculous. Then where's the cutoff? If the cutoff is not birth, where is it? And she can't answer that, or she won't answer it. Because her cutoff is, in fact, birth. That is the cutoff for all of these people, if not a little bit after that. That is the cutoff. And they won't say it. They won't say it because they realize how terrible it sounds and is. It sounds terrible because it is terrible. But that is their cutoff, all of them. And it has to be. This is always the point when it comes to the abortion debate, is that obviously there have to be there's a cutoff somewhere. Like there's a point. You've got an unborn child. Okay, you've got an unborn child here. Over here, you've got a 30-year-old man. Everyone agrees the 30-year-old man is a person. Well, I don't know if the left would even agree with that. We have a 30-year-old woman over here. Everyone agrees that the 30-year-old woman is a person. And yet they raise questions about the unborn, the fetus, not really a person. Okay, well, at what point, if this quote-unquote fetus is not a person and the 30-year-old woman is a person, then at what, and that 30-year-old woman used to be a quote-unquote fetus in her past, at what point did she become a person with rights? You have to be able to answer that. You have to be able to. The analogy I've used before is that if you can't answer that, if you can't answer it, if you're going to do the Barack Obama dodge, his infamous dodge of, it's above my pay grade, when person is, if that's what you're saying, then you, more than anyone, really, should be opposed to abortion. Because then what you're saying is, well, abortion might be killing a person, I don't know. And then an abortion, it's like firing a gun into a dark room. You might hit somebody and kill someone. You might not. You don't know. But if you fire a gun into a dark room without knowing if there's anybody in there and you kill someone, you're going to jail. That's murder, or at least manslaughter. Because you knew that there could be a person there and you fired the gun anyway. Using the internet without ExpressVPN, it's like walking your dog in public without securing it on a leash. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine, but what if one day your dog runs away or gets dog napped? It's better to be careful, especially when it's as simple as using ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, etc., your online data is not secured. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal your personal data. ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that they can't do that. It'd take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. ExpressVPN works on all my devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and even on my smart TV. It's so easy to use. Just fire up the app, click one button, and get protected that way. Get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free at expressvpn.com/Walsh. That's expressvpn.com/Walsh to get protected today. expressvpn.com/Walsh. Did you know that if you have a credit card with a $10,000 balance and you only pay the minimum every month without putting any additional charges on the card, it'll take you 8.5 years to pay it down? And that doesn't even include the extra fees from compounding interest. You can't let that happen. Instead, call our friends at American Financing. Learn how your home equity can help you pay that balance off much faster, potentially saving you $700 a month, maybe more. It really is possible to get those kinds of savings while also getting out of debt faster, and it could even happen in as little as 10 days when you call American Financing. So why put this important call off? Pick up the phone right now, see what they can do for you. There are no upfront or hidden fees, and if you start soon, you could delay up to 2 payments right off the bat. So even if your credit isn't perfect, you need to call. They have a credit card team that may be able to help you, and the service is also free. So call American Financing today at 866-721-3300. That's 866-721-3300, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. That's AmericanFinancing.net. So if you're not willing to answer the question, when does personhood begin, or if you're saying you don't know, you can't, then what you're saying is that we might be killing a person. So that just doesn't work. You have to be able to answer the question. And what we find out is that when it comes to personhood, there's only 2 cutoffs that make any sense. There's only 2 options that make any logical sense. Really, there's only one. There's only one, which is conception, because that is when that 30-year-old woman, we trace her history back. We go back and back and back. Well, what we're going to find is that there's a certain moment when that person, who's now a 30-year-old woman, came into existence, and that was conception. So there's this unbroken chain. We trace it back, even when she was in the womb. And we find there was one moment when she came into existence, and it only makes logical sense to say that she was a person in that moment. If you're not going to say that, then the only other kind of at least tangible cutoff would be birth. But then you're claiming that that something magical. So that's a tangible cutoff that we can all understand. But it doesn't make any sense, because now you're saying that something magical happens as the child emerges from the birth canal. All that's happening is the child is moving locations from the womb to the hospital room. And something magical happens in that moment to imbue the baby with personhood. That doesn't make any sense either. So that cutoff doesn't work, and then we're back at conception. And that's where this conversation always leads. As pro-lifers, we're the only ones. You might not like the answer of when personhood begins. We're the only ones who can answer it. We're the only ones who have a defensible, coherent, cogent answer. No one else does. If you're not going to say conception, then you're left with something completely arbitrary that you've just come up with on your own. Even if you say something like, well, it's, let's say 15 weeks. Why is that it? So 14 and a half weeks, not a person. At 15 weeks, magically you are? Doesn't make any sense. So she knows all that. But, here's the real answer from these people. And this is true of pretty much everyone who supports abortion. And this is also why this conversation never goes anywhere. It can't go anywhere. It can't go anywhere because you can't have a fruitful dialogue when there's one side of the discussion that isn't being honest about what their position actually is. I can't engage with your position or refute it if you won't say what your position is. And what Kamala Harris's position actually is that unborn babies are people and we should be able to kill them. That's their position. Every pro-abortion person, that is actually their position. That, yeah, obviously they're human beings, they're people, and we should be able to kill them. We should be able to kill babies. That's their actual position. They won't say it out loud. They know they can't say that out loud. So they're left flailing around like Kamala Harris was there. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.